When it comes to the mount position, which is one of the ultimate dominant positions in Jiu-Jitsu, gi and no gi has some differences. So can you get to the mount? Yes. Let's say if we are fighting with gis, kimonos. If I'm like here, like this, I mean his chest is far from my chest, I can always grab and control the grips. So I can manipulate his body weight. But in no gi scenario, if he's T-Rexing his arms and putting his chin down, it kills everything. It's hard to isolate the limbs from here. That's why if you play mount, you need a very tight crossface and start isolating the limbs from that crossface. How do we achieve the crossface? You can achieve the crossface from the mount. It's not impossible. So let's say I'm mounted on him. It is possible to do that, but not realistically. You know, you cannot rely on that because he has his forearms in between his chest and my chest, and it's hard to go chest to chest from here. There are some ways of doing it, but we are going to take a look at it later, and those ways are not the best ways. The best way of achieving chest to chest crossface in the mount position is before you establish the mount, you do it. For example, I'm in the side control, or I'm in a chest to chest half guard passing position. From here, I need to set up my underhooks, my limb isolations, and most importantly, my crossface. So in this scenario, let's say I passed his guard, I established the side control. So Selçuk knows what he is doing. He pulls his elbows and he uses his lower forearms on my neck as frames, and he uses his elbows under my hips or under my far side lat to prevent me from being heavy on him. Because let's imagine he's armless. Thanks God we have arms. But let's imagine for a second that you are armless. This is so heavy on him. But once he has the frames, everything is different. Mount transition is difficult because also he's going to use his lower body frames. I cannot make a transition and he slowly recovers. He covers the full guard. So here, first things first, I need to establish this, but even before that, I need to get rid of those frames. This frame is for my hip, and this frame is for preventing the underhook and putting some pressure on my far side lat so I cannot go deep on his chest. So here he has the frame and he has the lower body frame. Everything is difficult. I go towards his cheek, I grab his cheek with my fingers and I pull my elbow towards me. Now here I lift my chest up to his other cheek. Let me turn. Now he cannot move his head towards me. When you have a crossface on somebody, he should not feel like he is turning towards you. It should feel like impossible. Also, you should not feel any extraordinary tension on your shoulder. So if you have a crossface, like a loosey crossface, and you're squeezing your elbow and your biceps and then your shoulder, right now I'm getting tired. He's not getting tired, but I'm getting tired. It's not natural to feel that way. So I just go all the way deep with my elbow. I grab here. Even better if I have this control. Even better if I have the 5 fingers under his left. That's the ultimate crossface position. But let's think like he's having a very, very tight framing situation like this, and I cannot reach out here. So if I have this, like maybe you have long limbs, it's good, but if I can't, this is a good beginning. If I can, this is the ultimate. So here, now this elbow goes deep, and once I'm here, I pull this elbow to the ceiling and I put my upper chest on his near side cheek. Okay, but I still have problems. Yeah, he's feeling uncomfortable. I'm putting tremendous amount of pressure on him, but I cannot get to the mount yet. Why? There are other problems. Yeah, I'm chest to chest with him, on him, but there are 3 frames to get rid of. So again, yeah, tight frames. Can you see his elbow? This elbow is a problem. Also, this elbow is a problem. What John Denver recommends is, I'm going to put my forehead here, and I'm going to go perpendicular with him, going low, and get to here, like a 3-pointing situation. Keep your elbow, left elbow really close to your kidney. I'm going to turn my hips away from him, and I'm going to put this knee in. So it used to be here. I'm going to pull, get to here, walk. Making sure that his knees, yeah, have a knee frame, no. Knee frame. Making sure that his knees are turning away from him. Put your left elbow in, please, sir. Yes. So now, because that's the whole point. So let's go back. That's the whole point of the left elbow in, right elbow in. I walk in. I make sure that his knees are looking towards the other way. I put this knee in. I turn my hips away, and without losing the pressure, I climb with my butt, and open up. Now I clear this. Now I have the second problem. This guy. This guy is relatively easy, but you got to be careful about this. So I don't want to put so much pressure all the time. I got to be yanking at this, but I'm going to be kind today because he worked hard and he hurts his neck. So I'm going to get to here. So can you be tight? Yeah. I'm going to get to here, go palm to palm. I'm going to push with my elbow, and then I'm going to get to the underhook situation. One more time, elbow in. So he's tight here. Yeah, I beat this frame, but I still need to beat that frame as well. So maybe if I can get to here immediately, it's all good. But let's say that he's yanking his elbow in. There is no space. There's no space. So instead, I make a fist. I go in. I get to here. Be strong. Palm to palm, pushing with the elbow. Be tight with your forearm. Pummeling my hand, and I get to here. Now I have underhook. So one more time. Everything is very tight. I'm chest to chest, but don't let me mount you, okay? Ready? I just walk down. Once I established this cross-faced, underhooked, and knee under his shoulder position, so if his elbow is here, my knee is not under his shoulder. If his elbow is here, I cleared all the frames. Once I cleared the 3 obstacles, it's time to move to the mount. But we are not being greedy about the mount. If I'm here, he's going to be pushing down with his elbow. Because what he wants is, so push down with your elbows, and wait, push down with your elbow, grab behind me, like grab your own wrist behind me, like behind my back. Yes. Now, if he pulls low enough, he's gonna reach towards this way, and he lost the position. Or the second reaction is, he's gonna put this elbow inside my armpit, this elbow is, and then he's gonna get to here and hip escape. So if your elbow is here, you can hip escape. Yes, that's another option. So either he's gonna go with his elbow inside my armpit and hip escape, or outside my armpit, pushing me down, and then bridging. I want neither of them. That's why when I slide my knee, I don't want to feel greedy about it and get to mount early, but he's pushing my elbow down. And what he wants is, he wants my elbow here. I want my elbow here. So here, bad. Here, okay. Here, good. Here, excellent. That's what I want. I want this way. So he pushes down, and then I cannot walk much because the angle is not good for that. I put my knee on the ground. I push his hip with my knee in this 3/4 mount position, and I pull with, I push with my arm towards his shoulder. I pull down with my knee. It stretches his spine out. And once I'm here, now I can get the mount. By the way, sometimes his arm is going to be here. It's stuck on my shoulder, and I don't want that. That's why I change the angle of my hips towards this way. Like, can you be tight with your elbows? Yeah. I turn my hip, and I shrug with my shoulders towards his chin. Oh, now I got to do this. So one more time. I'm not, so elbow to elbow here. Yes. Push my elbow down. Yes. And you can wrap around my elbow. Yes. Right arm wraps around me. Yes. Like overhook. Yes. So don't let me go up. Yes. I cannot go up. I slide my knee. I push his hip with my knee, and then I use my arm at the same time, and I yank the crossface. Now, okay, don't let this happen. Push here. So let's say you are resisting with your 100% power. Like you are here. You don't want to get to here. You don't let me do this. Like you yank at here. You yank at here. So one more time. One more time. Yeah. Pull down. So now we are here. Still stay here. Don't let me push that elbow. Elbow on my shoulder, please. Yeah, still good for you. Still, I cannot attack. Now I can get to the mount. I'm going to go elbow to elbow. Look, I lift this up, go elbow to elbow, and now I have some suffocating move. I'm not choking him, but I'm suffocating by putting my chest on his nose. And I'm going to turn my hip, but I'm not literally going this way. I'm just turning my hip maybe 15 degrees towards his chin. I shrug over his chin, and now the arm is free. In this particular situation, there are some attacks. I can get to here and finish the arm triangle. By the way, when it comes to arm triangle, my elbow should be under his neck, not here. My right elbow should go as deep as possible, and I need to make the figure 4 under his shoulder. Look. Here, if I squeeze here, it's going to be on his chin. But if I get to here, you see, and if I squeeze on his chest, look, I'm going low, and I'm squeezing on his chest instead of squeezing on his chin. It's not going to tap him out. If I go deep, if I get to here, if I squeeze on his chest, so I go low, and I squeeze on his chest. By pulling this elbow, causing this shoulder to go like this. So this elbow pulls. So if your position is here, it's wrong. You need to make your shoulder position here, and you need to grab, make the grip here, not here, here. Even though you want some figure 4 grip, make sure that it's under the shoulder, not here, here, here. Okay. The other thing, I lift this elbow here, I get the elbow to elbow, and I grab his neck. Now, this is called the single chest wrap, but if I want an armbar, or if I want a better control, now I want the same thing on the other side. So if he pulls his elbow inside, he can still try to work on some escapes. I don't want that, so I want to be as tight as possible. And when I walk, I don't want straight. If I walk straight, by the way, so pull your elbow down. If I try to walk straight, it's his arm versus my arm. If he's a strong guy, yeah, resist, it's not going to work. I go 45 degrees, one more time. Head down, go one more time, 45 degrees. And I extend my arm walk, extend my arm walk, extend my arm walk, until I have double chest wrap. I go high mount. And I pinch my foot, not only my knees, but also my foot around his hips. Because here, I'm not strong, but here, it's good. I'm suffocating him with my chest. Here, okay. Here the question is, which side is his head turning at? If his head is turning at this side, this armbar is better in the double chest wrap situation. If his head is looking at this way, this armbar is better. So, one more thing, don't have an S-grip underneath him. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but it's not the ultimate thing. I used to do like that, and do you feel some sort of like space around your elbows that you can push, Selçuk? Can you just push out? Yeah, like there is this sort of resistance, and the moment I pull my chest a little bit higher, then you are gonna feel, yeah. That's why you go palm to armpit, palm to elbow. Palm to arm, his armpit, palm to elbow. That's the situation. You don't want to be like this, you want to be like this as always. So here, palm to armpit, palm to elbow. I grab his neck. Here, resist with your elbows. I don't go straight. I go towards this way, head down, extend, resist, extend, extend. Now this guy grabs his armpit. This guy grabs my own elbow. You can see that? Armpit, elbow. I suffocate him. I'm not in a hurry. I may stall here a little bit. Yeah, don't worry. So in this particular scenario, my crossface is putting his chin towards the wall, this way, the way that I'm looking at. In that regard, this arm is better to armbar. I'm gonna slide my left knee all the way on his head, just like we do in the regular armbar. And I'm gonna step over, I'm gonna lift him up, and I'm gonna slide even more underneath. Now that's the perfect S mount. I attack this arm. Inevitably. So now let's do the same thing from the chest to chest side control. So in this scenario, let's go back. I go for an outside camping. He low legs. Boom. Oh, now it's a half guard situation. I try to cut, but he pushes me with his knee and everything. Inside camping. Boom. I clear it. I get to chest. Boom. Now he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna try to win this real estate because I want this, what I want is this, what he wants is this. So here, if he gets the real estate, I'm gonna go low, I'm gonna turn my hips, and I'm gonna slide up, and I get to here. Now, like Michael Jackson moonwalking, I'm gonna yank. Like Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk, I walk with my elbow, I open it up. Now we're in a perfect mount. Single chest wrap, elbow to elbow. I'm controlling his far side left. I'm suffocating him. Now this guy goes deep and grabs the neck. I turn. Now this guy does the same thing. Resist. Not this way, but resist. This is not gonna work. This is gonna work. Extend, work, extend. Here. Now my crossface is on this way. Knee slide. Step, lift his head up. Once I lift his head up, there's a space here. I get to here, boom. And one more possibility is...
It's gonna 18 minutes.
18 minutes, okay. Just in 2 minutes it's gonna be over. So let's say here, elbow in, yeah. Knee in. Okay. Here. Elbow in. Here to here. Knee slide. Stretching his lower body out. Not being greedy about the mount. I still didn't take the mount until I'm here, and then I take the mount. Okay. Arm triangle position, but this time I try to catch this wrist. If I successfully catch it, I make a gift wrap, sliding up, pushing him, getting behind him. Now here we have the back attack system. I can get to the straight jacket, trapping his arm, pulling him to the other side, Ushiro Sankaku. And if you ask me which part is the most important or the difficult to achieve, it is the limb isolation, getting rid of the frames. So I would start with drilling from side control and trying to get rid of the frames and establish your mount. After that, everything is easier. Bye bye. So previously, I said that you gotta be having the crossface before hands, but let's say you forget about it or somehow you end up on mount without the crossface. And he's T-Rexing his arms. So realistically, the armbar is not possible because his elbows are closed. There are no cross-collar chokes or lapel control. So how do you isolate? Gordon Ryan does this a lot. This is the new meta. I grab his top wrist and I try to pin here. Let's talk about the easy path first, and then we take a look at what if he's pounding really good and it's difficult. The easy path is I push his wrist on the ground, not with my arms, but with my upper body. So I want you to be tight. So it's not gonna be like, by the way, I prefer this grip. It looks like this, right? This, instead of this. This is bad. This is good. You are wielding a sword. So here. And then you can also make a motorcycle move. Stretching it. I'm going to put my chest behind the motion. I'm going to push it towards this way. So it's not only my arms moving, so can you be tight? It's not my arms moving, it's my chest moving. Once I pin this, there's one thing that I like about Americana. Probably you're not going to get Americana that often, okay? It's obvious that I'm going to do an Americana and he has to be waiting for too long to let me get the Americana. So in Jiu-Jitsu, Americana is a low rate submission. However, it's a good pin. So use Americana as a pin. So it's obvious that I'm going for an Americana. He extends everything. Now, I use that for my advantage to get the single chest wrap and eventually the double chest wrap. One more time. I'm here, or he feels that, he turns towards me and grabs his own wrist and pulls everything in. If I have the good timing, I can let go of this, slide my knee and get to here. Grab the far side and I can play my body triangle back take. Those are the options. But it's not going to be like that most of the time. He's going to be pummeling. So I'm here as it happened previously. So here. While I'm doing this, I'm just making him tired. You know, we do some camping when it comes to passing the guard. We do the same thing here. The more I put my body weight on him, the more he gets tired. He needs to bridge, or he needs to just extend his arms, make major motions. So here you bridge and extend, and then I get to here now, here, bridge and extend, and you change here. This one goes up, this one goes up. Yeah. And the more I make him tired in a 20 round row, the more he will feel exhausted. And after a while, I'm gonna establish this. Here, here. If I have the Americano lock, I'm careful. I'm gonna pull everything down towards his hip. And when I push my wrist on the ground, I'm gonna be lifting my elbow up. But it's not gonna go that far. Most of the times, he's gonna turn towards the Americano lock, putting this wrist in and extending this arm. Yes. And now I have the underhook. Yay! And I have the crossface. Yay! Far side left. This is mediocre. This is the ultimate. And now I have everything I want from a mount position. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Ne kadar olmuş video?